Hey y'all, it's Crystal here from ChristaCoDesign. Today we're learning how to knit with the magic loop method. You'll need knitting needles on a flexible cable that is about 30 to 40 inches long. Okay, to get started with long tail cast on, I'll put a slip knot on my needle and then I'll get set up doing the long tail cast on. Feel free to use any cast on you prefer. I'm going to cast on about 40 stitches for this sample. I'm using a number 4 medium worsted weight yarn with 5mm size US 8 knitting needles. You can use any size yarn and needle, just make sure they match each other. And the idea behind the magic loop method is that you can knit small circumferences like baby hats and sleeve cuffs without using DPNs. Once all our stitches are cast on, we're going to slide them to the center of our cable. Find the halfway point, the middle of your stitches, and pull the cable out between those two stitches. Hold on to your stitches and your cables and slide them down toward your needle tips. Keep hold of the cable like this and it won't twist, and you can be sure your stitches are not twisted either. Now we'll just slide our stitches up onto our needles. Once our stitches are on the needles, we're going to turn them so that the needle with our working yarn coming off of it is in our right hand. That's our yarn tail there and our working yarn there. Okay, now we are in our setup position. So we're going to pull our right needle out so that we can use it. We need to give ourselves a little bit of cable there to be able to use it. So here, now we're just going to join to work in the round by working our first stitch on the left needle as a knit stitch. And now we've joined into a circle here. We're knitting a second stitch, purl the next, purl the following. Since I'm working a knit 2 purl 2 pattern here, I will continue across my needle, knitting 2, purling 2. When I get to the end here where my stitches are divided by the cable, I will show you how to navigate that part of the magic loop. Okay, so I drop that left needle that I'm holding, the one on the bottom. Make sure my stitches aren't going to slide off my right one or the one on top. And then I'm pulling that needle back through to reset my stitches on the ends of both tips here. Working yarn still coming from the right needle. Pull that needle up and out so that we can use it. And then continue our stitch pattern, knit 2, purl 2. Now we're at our last 2 stitches there. Drop that left needle and then reset our needles by pulling the cable through. And we are set up to continue knitting. Okay, Working yarn is coming from our right needle. I'm going to pull that needle out and get set up to continue knitting around. As I get to the end of the stitches on this needle, I drop the bottom or left needle, pull my cable through, slide that needle back down to get back into my setup position, pull the right needle out, the one with the working yarn coming on, and then continue knitting the stitches that are on my left hand needle here. Each time I finish knitting the stitches on a needle, I just drop that needle, pull the cable through, slide the needle down into the stitches again so that I'm in the setup position with stitches on both needles divided about evenly, with the big loop coming through the middle of the stitches. And then you pull out the needle that you're going to start knitting with, give yourself a little bit of cable there, and begin knitting again.